Welcome back to another video on Echelon. Today we get a fresh and updated top 10 list of the highest paid athletes in the world. If you're a sports fan in general, you should know who all these athletes are. Some have been on this list for a long time, and some are joining for the first time ever. Which sport is the best paying one? Is it football, golf, tennis, or boxing? Let's get started. At number 10, we have one of the greatest tennis players of all time, and it's none other than Roger Federer. He was the first tennis player ever to win more than 14 Grand Slams. Federer just wrapped up his career in September of last year and ended up with 20 Grand Slam wins, which is third to only Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. It's no rocket science to figure out that being a retiree means you're not as active on the court anymore, which means you're not making any money as an active player. But Mr. Federer has long-lasting relationships with his many sponsors, such as Mercedes-Benz, Wilson, Gillette, and many more, which pays out a handsome retirement income for Roger of $95 million in 2023 alone. Not shabby for a retiree to still make the top 10 list of the highest paid athletes in the world. Steph Curry, the man who revolutionized the game of basketball with his three-point shooting, a four-time NBA champion, two-time MVP, one-time Finals MVP, and nine-time All-Star, Curry's dominance on the court is unparalleled. Off the court, Curry's endorsement deals and business ventures have boosted his earnings significantly. He has partnered with major brands like Under Armour, Chase, and Sony, and co-founded the production company Unanimous Media. Curry is making sure that his success reaches far beyond the court. In 2023, Steph makes $48.4 million on the court and even more off the court, with $52 million in earnings, bringing his total to $100 million, which is good for number 9 on this list. Man, being able to shoot those threes are really paying off. The golfer that refuses to quit, Phil Mickelson, at 52 years of age, he comes in at number 8 on our list, with a massive $106 million of income for 2023. After having a somewhat rough year in 2022 after joining the LIV Golf Tour and being somewhat of a laughingstock in the world of golf, Phil gets the last laugh. He finished tied for second with his LIV Golf colleague Brooks Kopeka at the Masters, and the PGA just announced that they're joining forces with the LIV Golf Tour that they apparently hated so much. Phil was paid a reported $200 million just to sign on with LIV back in 2022, and for 2024, he'll be back playing in every PGA tournament out there. With a lot more money than 99% of the players on tour, Phil is not struggling financially, that's for sure. At his age of 52, he's the oldest active player on this list, and he made $104 million on the course and $2 million off the course this year. Another big name in golf that chose to join the LIV Tour last year was Dustin Johnson. Dustin was paid handsomely at a reported payday of $150 million just to sign on with LIV. Since then, Johnson won the season-long individual championship and racked up $35 million in just prize money earnings. Just like Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson gets the last laugh when it comes to PGA versus LIV rivalry, as they're now becoming one and all LIV players will be able to play in all PGA tournaments, and not just the majors that they were qualified for prior to joining LIV. It'll be great to see Dustin back on all the well-known courses again in 2024, and hopefully get back to winning big tournaments on the PGA. For 2023, Mr. Johnson earned $102 million on the field and $5 million off, for a combined earnings of $107 million. Since Floyd Mayweather is now retired and only doing exhibition fights now and again, it's safe to say that Canelo Alvarez is currently the biggest name in boxing. At least his earnings suggest that he is. With big pay-per-view fights against Dmitry Bivol and Gennady Golovkin, Canelo is cashing in $100 million from those two fights alone. Outside of the ring, Canelo is an entrepreneur. He's the founder of sports drink Yoka, fitness app iCan, and he even has his own gas station chain, bringing his total income to $110 million for 2023. Not bad for punching people in the face for a living. King James is a certified billionaire, so if this list was of the wealthiest athletes in the world, James would be sitting higher. However, being number 5 and pulling in a total of $119 million per year is pretty damn good. We all know LeBron is arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and he's still active, making it to the Western Conference Finals this year as he's chasing his 5th NBA ring. It's hard to even fathom that LeBron is almost more active off the court, as he has his hands on many business ventures around the world. For instance, did you know he's part owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins? He's also part owner of Liverpool Football Club and the Boston Red Sox. Once LeBron retires, there won't be a shortage of things for him to do, that's for sure. However, rumours are that James is waiting for his son Bronny to enter the league so they can play on the same team for at least a season before he retires. We'll just have to wait and see. At only 24 years of age, he is the youngest member on this list. The French national, who plays his club football for Paris Saint-Germain, is the biggest French football star at the moment, and his earnings prove it. In 2022, he was 1 win away from his 2nd straight World Cup with France, losing out to PSG teammate Lionel Messi and Argentina. He is by far the best paid player on the PSG squad, with $100 million annually. He also earns $20 million off the court from endorsements. Rumours say that Mbappé could be playing his last year in France and PSG, as he's eyeing a move to Real Madrid, as their striker position just became vacant since the next person on our list is moving to the Middle East to play his football there. We'll have to wait and see what happens, and jump to number 3. That's right, new on this list for 2023 is Karim Benzema, winner of 2022's Ballon d'Or, best player in the world, while playing for Real Madrid. Benzema was a Real Madrid player for 13 years, and while being paid handsomely compared to us mortals, he was never even remotely close to being able to get on this list prior to signing for his new team, Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. The new contract will pay Benzema €100 million per year. That equates to $109 million. He's also getting an additional $20 million to be an ambassador for Saudi Arabia's 2030 World Cup bid. At 35, Karim Benzema is getting the payday of his life and becoming one of the best paid athletes of all time, only trailing the greatest players of all time by $1 million, and he's next up on our list. Lionel Messi could actually be first on our list by a long shot if he had accepted his Saudi deal, like number 3 and number 1 on our list did. However, the ghost of football will instead be playing in the United States and David Beckham's Inter Miami. Messi reportedly had a deal from a Saudi club that would pay him a staggering $400 million per year. It does, however, seem like money is not everything for Messi, which is why he's choosing Miami instead, as it's better for his family. The Miami deal is rumored to be worth around $125 to $150 million per year, so he won't be going broke, even though it's not nearly as much as he would have been paid in Saudi Arabia. Since we don't know for sure at the time of this publication exactly how much he'll be making with his new club, we're staying with his old numbers, which is a modest $65 million on the field and just as much off, bringing his total to $130 million and number 2 on our list. Ronaldo left Manchester United in 2022 and signed a contract with Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia that's reportedly worth $220 million, giving him $75 million per season. Along with his sponsorship deals, it makes him the best paid athlete in the world with a combined $165 million per year. Ronaldo makes more off the pitch than he does on it, believe it or not. He's the most followed person on Instagram with 590 million followers and reportedly gets a staggering $2.8 million per post. Imagine that, posting a picture on Instagram and making millions doing it. He has long-standing sponsorship deals with the likes of Armani and Tag Heuer, so when Cristiano ever decides to retire from football, he will have a gigantic income to fall back on for years with all his sponsors. The world of sports and contracts gets bigger and bigger for every year that passes. It will be interesting to see what newcomers we have on this list next year. Who do you think it will be? Let us know in the comments, and we'll catch you in the next one.